Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Alexa Live. I'm Kelly Wenzel, Director of Developer Marketing at Amazon Alexa. I'm here in Seattle with Aaron Rubenson, Vice President of Alexa Voice Service and Alexa Skills at Amazon. We're joined by Heather McDavitt, Vice President of Consumer Products at Verizon in New York. This session is a great opportunity to showcase how Alexa is innovating alongside partners like Verizon to create a seamless voice customer experience. So thanks to both of you for making time for this.
Thanks, Kelly. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Heather, let's start with you. You're responsible for all of Verizon's consumer products in the home, so broadband, 5G, video-based products. Could you start off by sharing Verizon's vision for the home?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I think it's well known we have ambitious plans to expand the availability of home broadband using all of our network assets. So that's fiber, as well as 5G and LTE fixed wireless. We're well on our way. We have Fios fiber available to approximately 15 million homes in the Northeast. And we've launched 5G home in 47 different markets and LTE home in 189 markets. And with our recent acquisition of C-band, that's enabling our reach even further, covering 15 million homes by the end of year and 30 million by 2023. But as we expand, it is important that we continue to deliver the best network experience that we are known for. That means reliability, coverage, and performance. And to do that, we have to think differently. Customers just want their service to work and be able to add new devices easily. They don't have to think about managing their wireless network, and they don't want to have to think about managing their in-home network. So we have to make using the home network as seamless as possible for our customers, resolving any issues for them proactively or enabling them to understand and address it themselves. What you're going to see is the Verizon Smart Display plays a really important role in delivering this experience.
Thank you, Heather. So the new Verizon Smart Display device operates two voice assistants simultaneously, Hi Verizon and Alexa. So Aaron, you mentioned earlier in your keynote address that Amazon believes there will be multiple winners in ambient technology. Since this is the first Alexa Live for many of our attendees, could you start with, why does Alexa care about multiple voice assistants, and why is that so important to customers?
Sure, and you're right. We believe there will be many winners in ambient technology, that the world will evolve to have many voice assistants, and that each will have unique strengths and competencies. And we also think that customers should have the flexibility to interact with assistants of their choice on a given device. And so to deliver a good experience in that world, it's critical that customers can first talk to the service of their choice easily by simply saying its name, and then that the agents are aware of each other so that they can hand off requests as needed to meet the customer needs. So we think these are both key elements of having voice assistants operating side by side on customers' devices.
Well, thank you both for setting the stage. Before we dive deeper into our discussion, I actually would like to give our audience a behind-the-scenes preview of Verizon's new Smart Display. So let's see that in action.
Hi, Verizon. Turn on my guest network.
I've enabled your guest Wi-Fi.
Hi, Verizon. What's my bill?
Your current bill amount is $87.51, and it's due by July 31st, 2021.
Hi, Verizon. What's the weather forecast in San Diego?
Alexa,
Currently in San Diego, California, it's 67 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today you can look for intermittent clouds with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 67 degrees.
Alexa, play music.
Here's a station you might like.
That's an impressive product, Heather. The demo nicely showcased the unique capabilities and experiences that the Verizon Assistant will provide via the high Verizon wake words such as billing and account information. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Verizon Smart Display?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I have one here too. Isn't it a really cool device? We're excited about it. And as I mentioned earlier, the Verizon Smart Display plays an important role in delivering a simple and proactive home network experience for our customers. We are always paying attention to our customers to understand what they need from us or what is standing in their way. And with the Smart Display, we are addressing 3 key areas for them. The first is a large percentage of our customers would prefer to set up their home broadband without having to wait for a technician. But that process can be complicated. We're making it easier for our customers to set up their home broadband service on their own time. And as you saw in the demo, the Verizon Smart Display will guide our customers through a self-install process with step-by-step instructions with clear animations that will verify successful completion of these steps along the way. Second, we are making it easier for our customers to troubleshoot if they should encounter any issues with their home network. And even better, we'll be solving those problems proactively for our customers. We've been investing in AI-based diagnostic capabilities both within our network and in our home broadband router. And one of the unique features of our VZ Smart Display is that we included a Cat-M LTE modem. This allows us to communicate to the customer if Wi-Fi is not available in the home. The Smart Display works in conjunction with our home routers and AI diagnostics engine to do a bottoms-up analysis during an outage. And this allows us to more accurately identify issues and provides additional insights to our engineers, even in situations where the home broadband connection to the internet is down. The third thing we are addressing is, the home network is becoming a service platform. It is the basis of entertainment services like TV and gaming. It is the basis of home automation services like Ring and Alexa. And we are even seeing new emerging home services like home health services and a variety of in-home learning services. With Verizon Smart Display, customers can add or remove services simply, making it easy for people to manage both services they buy from Verizon and services that they may get from other companies. And that is where Amazon is a great partner. The Verizon Smart Display not only responds to Hi Verizon, as you saw, to manage their Verizon service, it also provides access to Alexa and all the great services that are integrated with it. So the plan is we're going to do a beta launch of the product later this year. We'll take the learnings from these customers to refine the product before rolling the product out more widely next year. One of the great things about a voice assistant is that you can quickly learn what people want to do with the product, and we'll evolve it accordingly.
In our keynote earlier this morning, our VP of Engineering, Nedham, covered precisely that point, that ambient technology is always learning and always getting smarter. Aaron, could you share with us why Alexa Custom Assistant is important for Alexa's vision for ambient computing?
When we talk to our partners, we often hear that they would like to extend the benefits of ambient computing to their customers, but that they aren't interested in building and maintaining their own voice assistant. The Alexa Custom Assistant, or ACA, is a solution that makes it easy for any brand to create their own custom voice assistant with a unique wake word and voice and personality and capabilities. And it's built directly on Alexa's AI technology. And so it can be used across a wide range of device types, everything from automobiles to consumer electronics devices.
So with that as a basis, Heather, could you share more about your decision to utilize Alexa Custom Assistant? What made ACA the right product for Verizon?
Well, Verizon prides itself on delivering a great customer experience with consistency across all our touch points. And we already offer automated assistance through our mobile app and through our integrated voice response via our care teams. So it was really important to maintain that consistency in the home. Alexa Custom Assistant and its ability to support simultaneous wake words allows us to do just that. We'll initially have support for Hi Verizon and Alexa, and then over time, we'll add different third-party services to support customer needs. And as you saw in the demo, the ability for our custom assistant to refer inquiries to Alexa seamlessly adds value while still feeling natural.
This will be the first smart display device to launch that's built using Alexa Custom Assistant. Firsts are always exciting. Were there any interesting inventions and/or new problems that the teams needed to solve? Let's start with you, Heather.
Sure. I think one of the most interesting bits of technology is the work we are doing to enable AI-based analysis of the home network so that we can proactively solve problems on the behalf of the customer or notify them and provide guidance on how to get it resolved. That's actually what led us to integrate a Cat-M LTE modem into the device in addition to its normal connectivity over Wi-Fi. By doing that, we can communicate with the device before the home network is set up or should normal internet connectivity be down.
On our side, the first challenge was transforming this experience of creating a voice assistant into a repeatable software development problem. And so this required us to innovate, for example, in how we create wake words for partners, or how we let our partners plug their assistant's unique capabilities and content into Alexa's voice technology. And then to Heather's earlier point, we also worked hard with Verizon to ensure that interactions with the Verizon assistant feel like a Verizon experience. We wanted to ensure that the Verizon brand shines through everywhere, in places like home screen content, the handoffs between the agents, and of course in the design of the Verizon assistant itself.
Well, so then given that this is the first of its kind product, what were some key learnings that you all had along the way? So let's, again, start with you, Heather.
Well, Verizon has been utilizing voice interaction for quite some time, but most of our learnings have been more to do with far-field voice. And so let's admit, pushing a button on a voice remote and asking it to tune to a specific TV channel or search for content is a very different experience than summoning a virtual assistant through different wake words and actually making that experience feel natural to our customers. So the customer needs to understand when they are talking to Verizon and when they are talking to Alexa. And we've been trained since birth to communicate with multiple people, so it isn't that difficult for a human to talk to multiple assistants, but actually making it feel natural takes a lot of work. The other key learning was how many Verizon systems we had to integrate with. When you allow people to make open-ended requests of a virtual assistant, you will be surprised at the things people will ask it to do. So mapping all those requests to intents, then mapping those intents to all the different Verizon systems needed to respond to that request resulted in a ton of new requirements and complex integrations across all our Verizon systems. But its potential to make it easy and natural for customers is well worth it, and I think very exciting.
We've also learned a lot through this process. First, while it's still early, we believe that customers will find it natural to interact with multiple assistants on this device. They simply ask their question, and then the right assistant responds. Second, and perhaps not surprisingly, we learned that we had a few kinks to work out, given the complexity and the invention that's involved here. But still, we're delighted with the end result, and we're feeling even more confident now about our ability to guide other partners in creating their own custom assistants as we move forward.
Heather, what are you most excited about with this product and the future of multiple simultaneous wake word devices?
I think what I'm most excited about is that we're putting the power of the home network in the customer's hands and giving them the ability to get their services set up quickly, easily, and on their own if they so choose. What has become evident over the past year plus is that home internet connectivity is the foundation of so many things in our home. So making the customer's experience and managing their own network and providing them a veritable home concierge is very exciting.
I could not agree with that more. I know, Aaron and Heather, your children are a little bit younger than mine, but my twins are 11. And between work from home, remote school, streaming games and movies just for sanity, like if Wi-Fi went down, it was like DEFCON 5 in our house. So I can completely relate, Heather, to what you're saying. So Aaron, going in a slightly different direction, multiple assistants working together is not a new concept for Alexa. In fact, Amazon has a program called the Voice Interoperability Initiative that is relevant here. Could you share a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure. The Voice Interoperability Initiative, or VII, is a program that we launched in 2019 with the vision that customers should have choice and flexibility to interact simultaneously with multiple agents on a single device. And we now have almost 90 members that have signed up to help realize this vision, including Verizon.
So, Heather, what's Verizon's role with VII?
Well, Verizon was an original member in the VII, and we are a strong proponent of customer choice. And just like Aaron outlined, customers may want the flexibility to interact with different voice assistants for different types of services. And we're thrilled to be a part of this initiative that promotes customer choice and furthers the betterment of the customer experience.
And we are equally happy to have your support, so thank you for that.
Yes.
Looking ahead, what's next for devices with multiple simultaneous wake words and VII, Aaron?
Our main focus now is working with partners to launch great products that have multiple agents working together. And it's an exciting time, actually, because we're now starting to see more and more products launch that align with the Voice Interoperability Initiative guidelines. Earlier today, in the multi-agent demonstration session, for example, we saw smart TVs featuring ThinQ's high LG service and Alexa working together. And then we also saw the ACA implementation from Electrobit and Continental, which highlights their assistant Brandon and Alexa working together, again with interoperability, and in this case, in next generation cars. So it's really exciting stuff.
So cool. Heather, what's next for Verizon and Verizon Assistant?
I would say stay tuned. We continue to expand broadband options to our customers through our expansion of fixed wireless services. And we are committed to delivering the best home broadband experience for our customers. The Verizon Smart Display, as you've seen, is a key element of delivering that amazing experience and providing even more value to our customers. So we're going to use the upcoming beta to guide us on what is working for our customers and then where we go next.
Well, this conversation reinforces our mutual belief in customer choice. We want customers to have the flexibility to engage with multiple agents simultaneously on a single device. Amazon will continue to relentlessly innovate on behalf of our partners and developers so you can build voice technology and ambient computing at a rapid pace. Verizon Assistant is a prime example of how our partners are working from the customer backwards and innovating to deliver voice experiences that are delightful and, as we heard from Heather, that are solving real customer challenges. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Aaron. I'm delighted you could be here. I appreciate all of you for joining us for this session. And please stay tuned for our final round of sessions and then closing remarks for Alexa Live.